Before we get to that though, Enyaminko Ray says, hashtag Dear Nanado, you promised to fix unemployment issues in this country when voted into power, and you are doing quite well. There's more room for improvements though. Thank you. Remember the hashtag is hashtag Joy SMS. Willie Pop says this documentary is an eye-opener, telling real-life stories and the hustle the average Ghanaian faces, and not the wasteful spending on money into opposition elections. Thank you. Joy 99.7 FM. And today on Corruption Watch, I've been telling you this and hoping that you've been following this story about the 6 officers of the Ghana Immigration Service who refused a bribe of 25,000 Ghana cedis that was offered to them by smugglers. Now, it's been suggested that they were able to refuse this bribe because they're persons of integrity. So we're asking this morning, how do we promote integrity in public service? Do we do that through reforms, awards, or recognition like the Immigration Services case? Today on Corruption Watch, we're spotlighting the Ghana Immigration Service and how you benefit from actual demonstration of integrity. And so we say a very warm welcome to our partners, the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, the African Center for International Law and Accountability. And obviously you can follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook it's Corruption Watch Ghana. On Twitter it's Corruption Watch OR. At CW Ghana. On Instagram it's Corruption Watch _GH. YouTube Corruption Watch Ghana. The hotline for Corruption Watch is 055-453-6586. The WhatsApp number, if you have any information for us, is 055-453-6295. And as usual, our hashtag is Wanamani, hashtag Ghana Abre. And Corruption Watch is sponsored by Star Ghana. Now, you know that on Corruption Watch, we have these segments. We have the Remember segment, we have From the Source, and we also have our Anti-Corruption School. And on the We Remember segment, we feature updates on stories investigated by the Corruption Watch investigation team. On the From the Source segment, we bring you interviews of actors involved in the case or matter under discussion. And today, on From the Source segment, we'll be hearing from Superintendent Michael Amoakoata. He's the head of Public Affairs, Ghana Immigration Service. And if the phone lines are kind to us, we will also have Hamil Sector Commander, Chief Superintendent Felix Ajiman Busumpim. He's one of the 6 Ghana Immigration Service officers who refused the 25,000 Ghana cedi bribe. And he'll speak to us on the phone lines. On our Anti-Corruption School, we'll bring you the resource persons who will share their knowledge of anti-corruption cases and issues we feature here in order to deepen our understanding of the issues that Superintendent Michael Amoakoata will be bringing on this segment. We have Mary Awelana Ada. She's the Programs Manager, Ghana Integrity Initiative. And together, they'll be helping us answer the questions, how do we promote integrity in public service? Should it be through reforms, awards, or recognition, like the Immigration Services case? So before we come to that, let's serve you a starter in the form of the We Remember segment. First of all, let me say a very good morning to Superintendent Amoakoata and... Well, good morning, Superintendent.
Good morning.
And also to the Programs Manager of Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Super Morning Show, but Corruption Watch on the Super Morning Show.
Thank you for having us.
So, Superintendent, this story has been in the news. It's a heartwarming story because so many times we hear about the things that go on with the Immigration Service. Do you want to just give us a brief overview of exactly what happened with that?
On that particular story?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you, and once again, good morning to your listeners. As part of our duties at the borders, we are to secure the borders of Ghana and also to ensure that miscreants do not take advantage and engage in activities that will be detrimental to the security of the state. So, on their routine patrol duties at the borders, our officers encountered these persons who were attempting to smuggle out of the country 950 bags of fertilizers into Burkina Faso. And they had to, because of the numbers of the smugglers, they were about 6. So they had to engage them in a way in order for them not to be overpowered. And in that attempt, the smugglers decided to offer some monies so that they will be released. They started with about 3,000 Ghana cedis. And so they feigned interest and continued to negotiate with them until they got to the 25,000 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, as they were engaging with the smugglers, one of the officers had to sneak out and seek for reinforcement from a military detachment nearby. And then they came in and assisted our officers to now apprehend the smugglers and bring them to base.
Wow. It's an amazing story, isn't it, of hope. And maybe it seems like I'm so taken aback because every single day in the process of either the news review or something, you hear about somebody who has taken bribe, who didn't do what they were supposed to do. More recently, there was this expose by Manasseh, the PPA boss. Then the boss has resigned. And so when you finally hear that there's some people, in our society who are actually committed to doing the right thing, it's really, really amazing. So we want to say thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And see, one amazing thing about this whole issue is that these officers were in the bush on unapproved route. They had just a pistol on them and confronted with these smugglers. And in that obscure corner, anybody would have taken the money and asked them to go by. So one, they had to risk their own lives in engaging them for about 30, 40 minutes until the military came in to assist them. So at times, they do this against their own lives, but for the love of the country and their commitment to ensure that our borders are safe, then they had to go that extra mile to be able to get them arrested.
Yes. So if you're just tuning in, we're doing Corruption Watch here on the Super Morning Show. I have Superintendent Michael Amoako-Attah. He's the head of Public Affairs, Ghana Immigration Service. I also have Mary Awelana Ada. She's the programs manager of the Ghana Integrity Initiative. Joining me on the phone lines, I have the Hamil Sector Commander, Chief Hamil Sector Commander, Chief Superintendent Felix Ajiman Bosompim, who he's on the lines with us, and so we'll be having the conversation with him as well. Actually, let me say a quick good morning to him. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nima.
How are you this morning?
God day. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Okay, so we'll be bringing you into the conversation, Superintendent, as well. Okay, so let me start with you, Superintendent Michael Amoako-Attah. For those of us who don't know the Ghana Immigration Service, what exactly is the GIS and what are your core values?
Thank you very much. We are the agency of state mandated to secure and manage our borders, and we have a vision of delivering excellence in security and migration management for national development by, among others, facilitating the border crossing of legitimate travelers at authorized routes, then tackling immigration-related crimes, and also operating a fair but firm immigration work systems that meet the core, the socio-economic needs of the country. All this is hinged on certain cherished values that helps us as officers and men to perform our work. And one is professionalism, that for every officer, wherever you are stationed, you have to demonstrate that professionalism in our training culture and also in our service delivery.
Right.
Then we have integrity, in which the Comptroller General hammered on when he was giving out the awards, that we should be people of integrity, that the public or other foreign nationals who are accessing our services will have that trust in us that we are out there to provide selfless service. Then respect for human rights. We engage in operations and other enforcement operations, and we always have to show respect to the people that we encounter, even those that we arrest to be here without any documents or working illegally and all that. We have to respect their rights and take them through due process. Then we are also a learning organization that at each point in time we evaluate our work systems and improve on it. We also evaluate the capacity of officers and try to build on their capacity in an effort to make the service one of the best in Africa, if not the best.
Right. So what has changed about the way you approach your work and the impact that that has had on the officers?
Yeah, thank you very much. To me, I think it's about leadership. The style of leadership that we have now at the service, at immigration, has trickled down to officers and men. That the expectation of leadership is that officers at all points of entry and places of work should exhibit and demonstrate these values that we cherish: integrity, professionalism, and as management, anytime such incidences happen or acts that are worthy of commendation, immediately is brought to the fore, and appropriately such officers are honored, and then the expectation is that other officers will see it and learn something from it. Then they get motivated to do better.
Okay. So let me speak to Chief Superintendent Felix Agyeman-Bosompem as well a little bit, so that he gives us a better idea of what goes on the ground. Chief Superintendent, I'm coming to you again. So what is your role generally?
Well, good morning again, Anymore.
Good morning.
Good morning to Superintendent Amakwanta and your cherished listeners.
Good morning, sir.
As Amakwanta rightly said, our main job here is to secure our borders from miscreants, to ensure that the state is safe, and also to protect lives and properties of the country.
So how often are you tempted with bribery? Like what happened recently? How often does that happen?
Oh, it hardly happens anymore. It hardly happens, because the terrain is such that you know how our borders look like. So sometimes it is very, very difficult to get these people, unless upon a tip-off. So we try to always engage informants as much as we can, so that they can provide us with such informations.
And so these informants, where do you even find them in the first place? And then how does that process work of getting the tip-offs, and then what do you do after that?
Anyway, that one I cannot disclose it. Our informants need to be protected. So for that one, I would want you to excuse me from that.
Oh, yeah, you're excused. You're excused. I wanted a little bit of excitement this morning. But when you came across this situation, with this money that you were offered, what was it that made you able to say that you will not accept the bribe that was being given to you?
Yeah, we as security personnel, we've sworn an oath to protect and project the image of Mother Ghana. So, in as much as possible, you may be enticed by some of these offers from I call them nation wreckers. But you need to really work diligently for the success and the well-being of our Mother Ghana. So, in everything that we do, I tell my officers that we put the country's interest first.
For a lot of people who find themselves in this position, the thinking is, a lot of other people are doing it. So even when I don't do it, it doesn't make that much of a difference. How do you feel about that?
Well, it depends on the individual, though. I always want to cite my Bible as an example, that as it is said in Proverbs 22, verse 1, and Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1, that a good name is always better than riches. Fine, you would be in your line of duty But when some of these issues come up, I believe you should be able to stand and put the interest of the nation first and not think about your personal interest.
So, what can authorities in the GIS do to make your work easier so that you're able to resist such attempts to bribe you even better?
Oh, I believe they've done a lot. Like, we were called in Accra, and then the recognition that they gave us a loan, I think, has gone a long way. And I would want to tell other officers to really be diligent in their work. For I know that if they do, they are assured of two rewards. One, the earthly reward from the Ghana Immigration Service, and two, the heavenly reward from the Jehovah God Almighty. So I would entreat all officers to emulate some of the things that we are doing.
Right. Well, congratulations for resisting this temptation. We're very proud of you, if it's okay for us to say that. So
Thank
congratulations. And thank you for joining us this morning. It's been a real honor to talk to you.
Thank you, too. But the name is not Hamail.
It's Hamli. Yes, I've been corrected. Hamli. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Okay, then have a wonderful day. So let me come to you, Mrs. Mary Ada. From the experience of GII and your partners, what is the level of perception of corruption that exists about the Ghana Immigration Service? And then my next question would be, what is the actual amount of corruption that is there? But perception first, maybe.
Thank you very much, Enimwa, and let me say good morning to your cherished listeners. One of the things we have realized from the past, from the various surveys we have conducted, is the fact that corruption in the various sectors, particularly those who create opportunities for mobilizing revenue for this country, is very high when it comes to perceptions. And they've continually ranked between the first to the fifth institutions when it comes to perceptions of individuals on corruption, particularly related to some of the issues you've mentioned. They are supposed to be securing our borders. Mm-hmm. They are supposed to be ensuring that people who come into this country do not come in illegally. Unfortunately, the GIS has been known or perceived to aid and abet in getting people into this country, not just our neighbors, but people who come from as far as Asia. Most of them are known to be done by or aided and abetted by the GIS. And so it's very high there with the perceptions. And then when it comes to actual experiences, mm-hmm. we also know that in our part of the world, perceptions and experiences are almost equal.
Right.
What we perceive are our lived experiences. What we perceive is what our neighbor might have experienced or what we have experienced ourselves. And this, as the superintendent mentioned, from their mandate, is evident. People who go from here to Togo to trade are aided and abetted by our immigration service officials. People who go through Paga, through Hamili and the others, are helped to facilitate the process, derailing our revenue mobilization drive. And so, with our perception surveys confirm that the Ghana Immigration Service is one of the institutions where bribes, particularly the administrative type, facilitating the process, ensuring that people documents are pushed, are done. That is not to say the whole system is rotten, but that is a fact when it comes to.
Indeed. Superintendent Michael Marquardt, when the GIS honors officers, like they have with this group of 6, what exactly are you trying to communicate to the rank and file of the service, especially in the light of the fact that the GIS is accused of corruption in the acquisition of passports?
Yeah, thank you very much. Perceptions are perceptions. I just want to make a quick response to what Madam said. You see, perceptions are perceptions, like they say, but on the particular issue of immigration officers illegally crossing foreign nationals into the country, mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of measurement
Was
research
used.
that
Okay.
was used, because
Okay.
we are there to prevent this, and we are the same people crossing them. Then we are the same people going out there to arrest them and then repatriate them.
I mean, one may argue that it's different officers doing different things.
Yes, but then two are done at the same place. That is illegally crossing by officers. These officers are stationed there to prevent them from coming. Then so why will we allow them to come? And you see, at the borders and other places that we work, you have multiple agencies all working. But then immigration is the predominant institution at the border. So when anything goes wrong, they say immigration. You go in, even there was a recent case, one of your multimedia staff called me that he has been accosted by some immigration officers at Kotika Airport. And I said, can you give me a description of what they were wearing? Because the things he said the officers did, without even getting to know, I said, no, our officers can't do that. So upon describing who they were, I said, no, these are not immigration officers, but belong to the other agency. Then I said, look closely at their name tags or the lion they wear. He said, they don't wear lions. I said, yes. So it is not immigration. So perceptions at times could be misleading based on how it is done.
Okay.
Yes. And for us, honoring these officers, before the 6 from Hamley, we also honored 5 from the Akano Sector Command, who intercepted 250 yellow gallons of fuel. And just after that, 2 or 3 weeks, then the Hamley one came in. So we believe the situation has been right, that when you identify and recognize hard work, commitment, and adherence to our core values, it will trickle down. Then the Hamley one came. Even before that, Upper West, around fuel, 600 bags of fertilizer were intercepted. Then about 200 gallons of insecticide. So what we seek to do through this honest is to let officers know that management is ever ready to stand by them when they do the right things. And the right things will really be rewarded. So they should go on doing their work with that kind of expectation. On the issue of passports, you see, again, if you go to the passport office now, and let me put on record, Ghana Immigration Service is not the agency that issue passports. It's not us, it's Foreign Affairs. We play a part in the process. Likewise, other agencies, police and all that. But again, because it is known globally, best practice, immigration or the Home Office or Interior is the one that issues passport. They say it is immigration. But we only play a part of it. So we can close this chapter about abuse of the processes if maybe the right thing is done. Let Ghana Immigration Service take over the issuance of passports, and let's see if this perception or real corruption is being done. So that's what I have to say to that.
To that one. Let me come to you, Mrs. Ada. We're told that the Controller General of Immigration alluded to integrity in commending the officers. So tell us a little bit exactly what integrity is and how important it is in public service delivery.
Thank you very much, Inimwa. One of the key components to defining what integrity is looking at it from 2 different angles. It could be personal, and then it could be from a systems point of view, and that is institutional. When there is a common definition that goes around, and it is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. And that is very significant, meaning anyone sitting in joy would do what is expected of her, even when there is no producer here to monitor your process and monitor what you are doing. You will do the right thing for the benefit of the organization and also to promote your personal values. Transparency International says integrity constitutes behaviors and actions consistent with a set of moral and ethical principles and standards by individuals as well as institutions that create a barrier to corruption. That is important. So we are saying that these are behaviors. If somebody has integrity, they have to then believe in a certain set of standards. Number 2, apart from believing, they have to live those standards or act them. It's very critical. So as we believe, we proclaim, as the Bible says, we profess with our mouths what we believe. And then after that, we live by example what we have believed. That is integrity in essence. So believing, saying what you have, and then also acting it on a daily basis, on a personal basis for our daily lives. That is what we are taught culturally from a moral value system, and then at the institutional level from the standards that are supposed to be expected of us per our legislations, per our legal regimes, per the codes of conduct of the organization, per the values and the visions of that organization. Why is it important to have integrity in the public service? We say it is critical that public service or public servants exhibit integrity because, number one, we are working with systems, and those systems must function fluidly. And if they must function with fluidity, then it means all that is stated in our codes of conduct, all that is stated in our procedures for organizational growth should be implemented on a daily basis. It is also important because as service provision agents, the citizens of Ghana demand, or citizens in general, demand and require that the best and the highest standards of service is delivered. And when that happens, it generates trust. And when we trust the system, we all know, studies have shown that when there is trust in systems, it leads to voluntary compliance of citizens. When we know that the Ghana Immigration Service would do the right thing, when I get to the border, I want to enter Togo, nobody would ask me to give them something before I enter, even with my passport, then I would trust them. And so if there is anything for me to pay, then I pay it willingly with a receipt. And so it promotes voluntary compliance, and that inures to the revenue generation drive that this country is advocating on a daily basis. And when we are able to generate that revenue, it means we would have the best of service, we will have the best of developmental outcomes. And that is to say, if the revenue is put into the right channels, into the right pockets, for that matter. So it is important that we see this happening. It's also important because then it breeds a system where there is fairness, and fairness is critical. In public service, if there's no fairness, the people of Ghana would not benefit. Yeah. There is fairness, there is so much transparency in the system. If I know I am due for a promotion, it is the system that would determine exactly where we are going with that, and not any human being who decides what happens. We eliminate opacity from our systems, and that is critical, because if there's no transparency, if we go back to our laws, in the Constitution specifies that a public service will be set up, and the public service will deliver public goods, and the public goods are intended for the people of Ghana. When you take our NACAP, the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan that is supposed to be implemented over a 10-year period, we realize that it talks about a lot of issues dealing with integrity in public service. One of them is ensuring that every public sector agency has codes as prescribed by the Constitution, that every sector should have a code of conduct that regulates the behavior of its members. And these are supposed to ensure that officers behave on a personal level and on an institutional level with the highest standards of behavior. That is supposed to help this country to move forward.
Right, okay. I'm going to take a quick message from our sponsors, but when we come back, I want to ask you what you think has led to the breakdown of integrity in our society. Because from what you've said, if we have integrity, if we practice integrity, the rate of corruption would reduce vastly. So we'll have that conversation right after these messages.
Daddy, I bet you enjoyed your trip abroad.
Oh, yes. It was worth every peso, and the experience was breathtaking. The beautiful environment, the culture, and the food. Oh, my. Until I got terribly sick.
Perhaps from eating too many new dishes.
But you know, thanks to my Glyco travel insurance policy, all my medical bills were paid for the 3 days that I was on admission.
Really? Glyco travel insurance policy?
Yes, my dear. Glyco travel insurance is the best. Look, it covers medical and emergency services, personal assistance services, emergency return home, personal liability such as legal defense fee, loss of baggage, personal accidents, trip cancellation, or even delayed departure. And even these are the ones I remember off my head.
Yes, Glyco Travel Insurance has a worldwide cover and widely accepted by embassies, both Shenzhen and non-Shenzhen. Visit any of our Glyco offices nationwide or call 020-422-113 or 055-5305-547 for ready assistance from our experienced support team. Be safe, travel protected, and have a peace of mind. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Charlie, you for level up. You too for win and drive better car thanks to your preferred bank, Societe Generale Ghana. Yes, so the 2019 SG Ghana Bank Deposit and Win promotion is here. And with a deposit as little as 200 Ghana cedis, you can win a brand new car and many more prizes. The earlier you deposit, the more you maintain and increase your cash, the bigger your chance of winning. There are 3 cars up for the taking: TVs, the latest smartphones, and many more. No, yawa, just deposit 200 cedis today. Won't pay way, now pay DA. SG Ghana Bank. Bank Papebi. Missy, don't miss out. Just step into any SG Ghana Bank branch, register, and start the ball rolling. Find out more about this fantastic promotion. Call 0302-214-314 right now. This promotion is brought to you in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas platform. Hurry, the promotion runs from now until 31st December 2019. And remember, terms and conditions apply. Change your level. Coffee, your ceiling be smooth, bright and fine, Papa.
That's an understatement. It dey blink like 80 carats white gold. This be Interface plasterboard ceilings, smooth, bright and long lasting. Everybody wey dey come here, they feel am. Where they direct them go Interface Limited for world class quality.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
No one likes the siren of the ambulance, but once in a while, there is a moment in our lives where we need help and pray silently for an angel. That is why the Call Angels came into being to provide 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, round-the-clock ambulance cover for medical emergencies, domestic accidents, road traffic accidents, non-emergency transfers, and any medical condition where professional hand is needed to get a patient to the hospital. Download the Call Angels app for free from Google or Apple Store. You can also register for value-added services by calling 18026 or *3330 or 0302-909746. For as little as 100 Ghana cedi, you can guarantee you and your family for up to 5 persons priority response in addition to a 30% discount on fares for your transport request. Sign up and get that peace of mind for you and your family. Call the Angels in that critical moment and we will be there. Kindly note that this service is currently available in the Greater Accra region only.
Let's go, Consizu. My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Promo way there, I had the. Some you see Mumu. If you say MTN Echimachedia, at their two table, brand new Samsung 65-inch UHD Smart TV, and a brand new 2019 Hyundai, and a fee 3,000 Ghana. You should say mono. MTN Momo. Still, Misaka, the journey of 1,000 smiles. Yashasya 10 years ago, and to celebrate this milestone, MTN give you away exciting prizes in the MTN Momo at 10 promo. Yeah, you use Momo. No, you could win one of the 2019 Hyundai i10 cars. Some Samsung Smart TVs for baby, and they up to 3,000 cedis e-cash every month, and a grand prize, 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe in the MTN Momo at 10 promo. Into signing on and they keep using your MTN Momo. Now when you big, if it's August only on Ghana's best network. Dial *120#. Now check your points. Terms and conditions apply. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
Morning Show.
Yeah, Sydney. Je suis arrivé. Qu'est-ce que la nation soit ça les Ghana? Arrêtez le babadage. C'est moi le tu. Sydney back again. Yeah. Now in the bar. What you say now? Squad alongside Man and Morris Babyface. What you say now?
And it's a Super Morning Show here on Joy 99.7 FM. You're listening to Corruption Watch. And this morning we're naming and praising, but we're also talking about integrity and the role that it plays in ensuring that we're corruption free. Or should I say corruption less? Either way, it plays a massive role in the way that we are as human beings and the decisions that we make. But hello, Ghana. Take a step into the future with Absa Group, the parent company of Barclays Ghana Limited. At Absa, the future is as important to us as the present, so we always strive to keep you ahead. This is why Absa has invested $500 million into technology to make your future possibilities a present reality. We also make sure we collaborate with the right partners to provide you with a state-of-the-art award-winning banking solutions. Welcome to Absa Group. Absa, proudly serving you in Ghana as Barclays. And MTN Momo is celebrating 10 years of making life simple by giving away 10 brand new Hyundai cars in the MTN Momo at 10 promo. And for the month of June, Rebecca Quay was the lucky winner of the Hyundai Grand i10 2019. Keep using your MTN Momo account to build points and win exciting prizes like the Samsung Smart TVs up to 3,000 CDs in e-cash or one of the brand new Hyundai cars, including the all-new 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe, from now until the end of August, which is incidentally the end of this week. Remember, promo winners will only be called with 0244 300 000 to redeem their prizes. Dial *120# to check your points. Terms and conditions apply. So go on, just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go. And the Kingdom Books and Stationery Back to School promotion is here with us once again. From the 1st of August until the 30th of September 2019. Kingdom Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is giving a generous 10 to 50% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and much more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302 764-101 or 0302-764-209. Or you can email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stock shop for all stationery and furniture. And text messages are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last your lifetime. Glyco Critical Illness Plan, GSIP Glyco, we cushion you for life. Now, the average person will sit about 75,000 hours in his working life, but as humans, we're not made to sit for extended periods of time. We're designed to be upright, walking, running, and on the move. Sitting and standing still for extended periods are detrimental to our health. How then do we protect our health since we must necessarily sit to work? The answer can be found with Afrodan. Afrodan is offering you today the most comfortable chair in the world, period. The Nightingale Extreme Comfort Chair with over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. Working has never had it this good. Go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel the chair. You will be amazed. Call us on 0302 663 085. Going straight back into the conversation, just before we left off, I was asking about what has led to the reduction in integrity when it comes to our society and in the way that we behave. And what are your thoughts on that? What do you think has led to that?
In the past 2 years, we conducted a study that looked at the value systems and how we have moved on or progressed as a society. And we realized that some of the things in our culture have tended to promote the craving for wealth. And so one of them that we documented was the appetite of the individual and also the community for wealth without knowing the source. And so we praise people, we tend to laud people at our churches everywhere we go, not knowing where they made the money from, whether it's from a good source or not, we are not bothered. So far as I have money and I can go to church and give 100,000 cedis, my pastor, my community chief, and everybody will take it, loud praise me and make me the most honest person and the most cherished person in the community.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it tends to send a message to people who would want to do the right thing, that wealth is what we all need. Because we want recognition as human beings. We want to be known. We want to be seen. Even though the right thing, as the Bible prescribes, is to do good and to have the highest level of integrity.
Yeah.
But culturally, we tend to see these things. We also have some cultural norms and values which hype, in a way, a lack of integrity, or let's say promote corruption. Like if your mother, in my place, they say if your mother brews pito, you do not drink water.
Yes.
And so,
of course.
And so if you have that notion, you are trained to appreciate that if your mother brews pito, you do not drink water. It means then whatever happens around you, you must be able to gather and gather a lot of it to make the best use of, whether it's right or not. That has been one of the things that is affecting us. And I know in Akan there are several of them as well. Then we have a system, when you take the public service point of view, there is a lack of standards. When we pick public service per the Constitution clearly indicates that we should develop standards that regulate behavior of public servants. Unfortunately, till date, we do not have a law that criminalizes some behaviors which are related to conduct.
Right.
And so we still have a bill referred to as the Conduct of Public Officers Bill in Parliament that is supposed to criminalize behaviors like unexplained wealth, behaviors like conflict of interest, which we are still grappling with, which comes up almost on a daily basis.
Regular basis, yeah.
Yes. And so that is also a serious one we need to attend to, despite the fact that we have various institutional level codes, but we need a standard as prescribed by the Constitution, which would be good for the Ghana Immigration Service, but also for the police, but also for maybe somebody working in GRA and others, so that we have the same standards for everybody. And then comes the issue of the inaction of leadership in most of the cases. We realize that in institutions, when people are cited or alleged to have gone contrary to our regulations, sometimes it is difficult for some to be sanctioned. There is inaction, and mostly we tend to politicize some of these inactions. Because leadership is afraid some are untouchable. When they are touched, there are issues. So there is a lot of inaction when it comes to sanctioning at the administrative level.
Okay.
When administratively people are sanctioned and sanctioned well, then people would begin to sit up and behave rightly.
Yeah.
And then it comes to our court systems where the process takes forever to resolve. And so somebody goes to court and it's 10 years and they are still attending
And
to
then
the
documents
same
get
issue.
missing, and depending on who you are going to
And
court.
so corruption,
Yes, yeah.
facilitation payments, people tend to get away because they are in a certain political party and leadership is appointed by the political head, and so they tend not to want to step on people's
Right,
toes.
yeah.
And when that happens, people tend to get away with the unforgivable per the standards even set at the administrative level. And so impunity then sets in. And so people do not see the value of behaving according to the systems put in place.
Superintendent Michael Amoakwata, so I'm coming to you for your final comments. But what I really want to know is, how do you intend to totally remove corruption from the Ghana Immigration Service?
Thank you very much. This is a tall order, but for us, psychologists will say any action that attracts a positive response is likely to be repeated.
To be repeated, yeah.
So we'll continue with recognizing hard work and people of integrity. Then also, at the level of recruitment, we also have to look out for the best out of the thousands of people who apply to join the service, people that can really imbibe into our service core values. Then a bit of reform of our work processes, so that the processes, nobody take advantage of the processes and benefit from it. So what we are also doing now is to delegating some of these jobs to other commands to spread it across all the 18 commands of the Ghana Immigration Service. Then again, another reform that is currently going on is at our HR systems in terms of promotions. People can sit on their ranks for 7-8 years without being promoted. Now it is being reformed so that when it's time for officers to be promoted, then the system itself bring it up, then management take a decision and promote. And also again on transfers, people can be stationed at certain places for as long as 9 years, and they are left to themselves. So such a person feels that nobody cares about me. So at that point, he's open to be bribed or to abuse the processes and get himself involved in other corruption. So now reforms is coming also in transfers, where for certain categories of borders, let's say we'll send females there for about 2 years instead of the normal 4 to 5 years. Then for men, 3 years. Then post them to another category of a border post. This, we believe, will motivate officers that wherever you are, it's not like a punishment area or you've been thrown to the desert, but you are going through a well-planned system that at the end of the day, whatever expectations that you have that the service you provide will be there. So now, even when it comes to training and overseas training and capacity building, it is fairly done. Somebody could be as far as Kulungugu, but then he can be called down to get himself ready to go for a training, let's say in China. You see, so all of these things are little things, but then they help to build the psyche of officers that, yes, they are part of a bigger system and that they have not been forgotten wherever they are.
Anymore, if I could chip in, just that for us, we believe that rewards are very important. But then the rewards as well that are given should be phenomenal, such that they promote or breed a culture of compliance. And so we are saying that to call people from Hamili to come to Accra for a parade and the giving of citations or plaques to go and hang in their rooms is good. But then we believe that there are other viable ones that could serve as a moral booster for other staff, and that would be promotions.
Okay.
For us, we believe they should be so huge and phenomenal that other people,
life-changing,
yes,
so that people can
it could
see the
inform
value
exactly,
of integrity.
exactly. For
apart
us,
from the citation they got and the plaque they got, they also received some amount of money. And as we speak now, the council is deliberating
please,
on
the
another form of
promotion
award.
should come.
That is the promotion I'm
It
talking
should
about.
come. It
Very
should.
soon, yes, it's
At
going to be
least by a
announced.
step.
Yes. It is being considered and
Thank
to come
you.
out for all the 6 officers and even the other 5 officers at Akanu Sector. The
Exactly.
promotion will be the concluding or the icing on the cake
Uh-huh.
for the rewards
For-
that the service.
for others to want to
I think-
emulate such behavior.
I think Mrs. Mary Ada is happy now. Tells us that yes, she's happy. But I've been speaking to Superintendent Amwako Atta and Mrs. Mary Ada from the GIS and from the Ghana Integrity Initiative. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've had a phenomenal conversation about integrity and what it means and what it looks like when it is translated. And so congratulations once again to those 6 officers. You've made us proud, and we pray that you continue to be an example for your fellow officers and for all of us. So I have some news about Corruption Watch. It's taking a short break. The Corruption Watch project partners wish to announce that the Corruption Watch radio program that airs every other Wednesday here on the Super Morning Show will be going on a short break. This break will last for up to 4 weeks, which will affect 2 episodes of the program. The partners wish to state that this break does not affect all the other activities that we undertake, including ongoing investigations. As well, our various communication channels, including social media platforms, will be continue to be active. You can reach Corruption Watch, Facebook, Corruption Watch Ghana, Twitter, Corruption Watch OR, at CW Ghana, for that's Twitter, CW Ghana, Instagram, Corruption Watch _GH, YouTube, Corruption Watch Ghana. The hotline number is 055-453-6586, and the WhatsApp number is 055-453-6295. The hashtag, as always, is hashtag Wanamoni, hashtag Ghana Abre. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on the Super Morning Show. We're going to take a few messages and we will be right back.
At UBA, we pay close attention to your